What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz.
Boy, night, Babs.
We're
We
back.
back, these bros.
Best weekend in all of sports is upon us, man. Natty on Monday, divisional round Saturday and Sunday. Let's go, man. I ain't gonna lie. Last weekend's, Thursday, Notre Dame, Friday, Ohio State, Texas, Saturday, play. That was cool. That was cool. But I'm gonna use your analogy like yesterday, which was a perfectly detailed. Gotta trim the fat. I like crispy bacon, so you know what you gotta do. You gotta trim the fat. Divisional round weekend is here. No NFL news that I know of. Fucking Aaron Glenn. Hope he's the Jets coach for Moosey and Jason's sake. Johnson got signed back to Baltimore, and everyone was like, "Oh, what happened?" It's chestnut checkers, man. Because if he's not playing for us again, that ship has sailed. But we have him. But if he goes into free agency and signs with another team, we get a compensatory pick. We getting a free pick for him doing what he wants to do. The challenge is though, they're seeing how his conduct is very detrimental to teams. So it's gonna be a hard sell for his agent to help him get to a new destination. But if he does, cool. If he's blackballed from the league, still cool. Because honestly, fuck Deontay Johnson.
Damn.
In a fuck Mike Evans way. Like, I got no bad blood personally. I don't know you, whatever. But like, you did nothing for us. And then you did nothing for Houston. And then when you win a playoff game, you bitch and moan about it. That you ain't get the uses that you wanted. Like, dude, you won a game we were underdogs for and you won convincingly. Who the fuck cares? Who the hell cares? Honestly. Grow up, my boy. Grow up. But, I'm in a good mood. Ravens play on Sunday night, last game. I'm ready. You ready, Natural?
Let's make it happen.
So drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend, and let's talk about it. Saturday, 4:30 on ESPN, I think.
Yep.
So, Texans of the Houstons go to Kansas City, 8.5-point favorites. I'm going with the Texans to cover the spread. I'm putting, mind you, y'all, I am not putting any money down. Your boy is popped. I got plans, big plans in my personal life going on this weekend. I ain't doing that. But if I was a betting man, I'd say Houston. Reason why is because Tank Dell done broke his leg, pretty much like ACL, MCL, like that's an emotional that's dead weight right there. Like you can't be in the right headspace to continue a game when your best friend, is in that condition, right? So I think they'll be better prepared, and I do think if they have any chance of winning, which I hope. But if I was a realistic sports fan or sports analysis, I'll say the Chiefs probably should win this game. But if I was like optimistic for Houston, those edges like last week against Herbert, because I think Slater and Oat is better than not Tooney, whoever they got on the left side, and then Jawan Taylor, Mr. Full Start. They're like Alt and Slater are better than those guys, and Anderson and Hunter dominated. They set the tone. So they have to set the tone in this game. Kansas City now downstate team, down south team going up, dome team playing in the cold. That's a challenge. But CJ Stroud played at Ohio State. So it's not like he's not used to playing in cold weather. He played in a Big Ten. So for me, it's like, okay, you got a quarterback with experience in that. Nico went to Michigan. He got experience in the cold environments. I think Kansas City wins, but it's closer than what people might think. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a bye week." It's Nick Wright saying it's the practice before the real season starts. You know how he gets with his Chiefs or whatever. And I would love for the upset because when the Ravens win, we get to host this championship game again, which would be awesome. Give the fans one more home game to go to. Um, but all circles are pointing at the Chiefs. I don't know who's gonna step up. I would love DeAndre Hopkins to have a great game because of how Houston did him dirty. And like I think his last playoff game, they was talking about it today on FS1. Uh, his last playoff game was that 24-0 blowout that they had in the first half, and then it was like a 51-7 run in the second.
Yeah.
So that was his last ever playoff game, and then they traded him for a second round pick and David Johnson. So like if I'm him, I'm like, oh, I'm about to cook these boys because of how bad they did me. No real analysis on the Chief. Oh, also, if Houston has any chance of winning, they have to do a better job blocking. They have to do a better job blocking, especially at the guard center guard. Chris Jones, he is right now that Aaron Donald retired. I'd say he's the best defensive tackle. He can wreck the game by himself. So they have to put a point of emphasis on guarding this man. And someone else other than Nico has to step up. Because the Chiefs can't stop the run. So you have Joe Mixon. You had a good game last week. We need it again. So all phases have to be dialed in, and Stroud cannot make those stupid interceptions like he did the first time. You keep the ball in your hands. You score. You need touchdowns, but you have to settle for three. You got to do it. You got to do it. That's fine. Do not let them intimidate you. Don't let them bully you. And I think you guys can win, but my bet will be for Kansas City to win.
Same, same. I think that the first half will be close. The first time they played each other a couple weeks ago was relatively close, but as you mentioned, again, Nico Collins, uh, he went crazy, but Tank Dell is like yes, Tank Dell is CJ Stroud's like locked in homie, right? And broke his leg, and it's like damn. And a ball that he threw, that's of course accidents happen in the football field all the time. So it's like, damn, he didn't inadvertently break his leg, but he felt that pressure. Damn, I just broke my best friend's leg. They fall hard, but Kansas City woke up. That was like the start and the rumblings of them waking up in terms of, oh, we have an offense again. Um, the down that everyone always says, oh, rest versus rust, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they didn't play week 18. Mahomes didn't play, Travis Kelsey didn't play, Chris Jones didn't play, Pacheco didn't play. So like their star guys did not play week 18. So they haven't played a full meaningful game since Christmas against the Steelers. So almost a month that they haven't played and got contact or anything like that. Mahomes had a kid. Well, his wife had a kid. Shout out to the Mahomes and being healthy and all that good stuff, right? So I think in the first half it will be like, oh shit, we have a playoff game. Like, oh, Houston might come out firing. As you mentioned, Chiefs really can't stop the run like that. They're not a good running stopping team. They have fantastic corners, and Chris Jones is a monster, right? But when it comes to like big boys up front to stop the run, they don't have those. My bet is going to be Kansas City to win, but I don't hate your idea of the Texans keeping it close. And but why do I say that? Yes, of course. Would I love an upset? Absolutely. To shut Nick right up, to like that would be fantastic. The hey, they'll guarantee a new Super Bowl champion. That's fantastic, right? Houston would go from lovable underdogs to holy shit, like they can actually compete with these teams. They've been looked over against the Chargers, looked over against the Chiefs, beat both of those teams, and then whoever wins the Buffalo Ravens game would have to take them seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll just be more competitive and more parity. We want more parity. We don't want the same teams over and over again being in the title game, unless it's Baltimore or the Saints. Obviously, my bet is going to be Kansas City to win, and the most important reason why, again, this is like Andy Reid off a bye. Like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's said all the time. It's like Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard, right? Like that's like always mentioned in a broadcast every time it's Ryan Fitzpatrick or a Harvard touchdown. Oh, Harvard player scored. You know who else went to Harvard? Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's like, okay, we get it. Cool. Like doesn't really matter. But it matters in this situation because if I'm not mistaken, according to Reddit and all this other stuff, trying to get the accurate years, Andy Reid is like 22-4 lifetime off a bye. So that's just off of one bye week. You gave him essentially a month to prepare. Well, now really a month to get healthy with his team, and then a week to prepare for Houston, where it clearly has deficiencies in their passing game because it's Nico Collins or bust at this point. So lock them down with Trent McDuffie. Give him credit for that. And then their offensive line is still trash. So Chris Jones should wreck the game by himself, like what happened when they faced each other a couple weeks ago, almost a month ago. So, yeah, Mahomes off a bye, Andy Reid off a bye, fully healthy. And
with prep times, huh?
it's Batman with prep time. And as much as I hate to say it, I think Kansas City advances to the AFC title game. Of course, logically, football minded. You come here for, yes, biased opinions in the regular season, but in the playoffs, you want honest opinions. I genuinely think Kansas City can be beaten. They're not the juggernaut of past. But what makes Kansas City so hard to beat is the fact that people get tight. It's you forget who you are. Baltimore is a prime example, right? Last season, last playoff game, the running backs had 6 carries total. But what got them to the 1 seed last year was running the ball. But somehow, some way, when you see Mahomes across the sidelines, you're like, damn, we gotta score points. We gotta be different. In Houston, they don't really have an identity. Yes, they want to play action pass with Joe Mixon. Every team wants to play action pass. Every team wants to have a good running game and a good tight end. But what is Houston's? Oh my God, they do this really, really well. They don't have that. They had it when taking down Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins was healthy, but it's just Nico Collins right now. So I'm going with the Chiefs to win. But would I be shocked at all if Houston win? No, absolutely. They're like top 5 in sacks. Their defense is all world. Derek Stingley Jr. is an all pro. Like they have a fantastic defense. And this game should be close in the first half. But championship medal, we talk about this all the time. Playoffs is where you make a name for yourself. And if the Texans go into Kansas City and make it happen, then absolutely. Names will be made and reputations will be established. And CJ Stroud will be officially him. But until I can see him going on the road and winning a playoff game, I just can't see it at this moment in time. But we'll see. We'll see. We're rooting for Houston, though. We're rooting for Houston. But a game that's going to be fireworks, offensive showcase in a dome. Number 6 Commanders traveling to number 1 Detroit Lions. Lions are 9.5-point favorites. That is wild to me. That is absolutely wild to me. I don't think they should be 9.5-point favorites. That is an easy Commanders cover. Like that's an easy Commanders cover. The back door is right there. The entire game.
Speak on it.
The back door cover of 9.5. I don't see Commander Jaden Daniels losing by more than 10 points. Like, the only game I believe he's lost more than 10 points, I'm gonna look at the Commander schedule, was Philadelphia.
No, week 1 against Tampa too.
What happened?
Week 1 against Tampa, I think. His first game.
His very first game ever, and then week 10 against Philly. Because that was like a Thursday night game and Saquon went crazy at the end.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it right now. They lost. Hold on. Yeah, they lost by 7. They lost by 17 to the Bucks week 1.
Yep.
But outside of that, they lost to the Ravens by 7. Their backdoor cover came in.
He did. I remember that.
They lost to the Steelers by 1 point. They lost to even the Eagles game, that Thursday night game. They lost by 8.
They backdoor cover. See, it's
The
always a lot.
backdoor cover is there. So first off, I'm already like that. They don't lose by double digits except for week 1 back in September. So all betting wise, Commanders plus 9.5, easy for me. Another bet I love, obviously the over. Both defenses can get got, especially in the passing game. Run game, not so much. Bucky Irving went crazy, but Jahmyr Gibbs is a dog, right? So the Lions getting healthier, they needed this bye week more than anybody because they have another week to get fully healthy. Alex Anzalone came back week 18 and was a difference maker off rip. Shout out Saints legend, by the way. Saints legend, Alex Anzalone. I'm going with Detroit, but man, if because I just think this is Detroit's year. I just think that this is the year to get to the Super Bowl. I don't see them losing to Eagles or the Rams. I don't. I like Jared Goff. I like Dan Campbell. I like a situation where in week 18, right, Minnesota went for it on 4th down consistently. They're not used to doing that, and it bought them an ass. Eagles, Rams. Eagles did Nick Sirianni. He does go for it on 4th down, but I don't trust Philly. That's all fair. Trust them against the Packers because the Packers were hurt to shit. But I don't trust. We're gonna talk about it soon. I don't trust Philly at all. But my big concern with this game: who is going to make the crucial error first, and can the other team capitalize? Jared Goff can get pass happy, and he might throw one of them things. He might. He has started in big games this season. He has thrown an interception against Buffalo. He threw one. Oh, they went for it a lot and then get rid of it. Last week 18, he threw a bad couple of interceptions. But the defense held it down when they needed to hold it down the most. And Jahmyr Gibbs will be the best player on the field. Like, he will be the best player on the field when the Lions take the ball. I got the Lions. But in terms of conviction, in terms of like, oh, yeah, this is going to happen, I'm about a 5, maybe a 6 in conviction because we both agree that JD Daniels is him and represent for the DMV. Like, he could definitely go into Detroit and make it happen, but would not be shocked at all. But I'm gonna go with the Lions to win a fantastic competitive game. And we're gonna look down. We're gonna look back into this season. It's like, damn, the divisional round, man, is gonna have some haters on it.
Everything you said was valid. I don't know the status of David Montgomery. He might play. He had a good couple weeks to rest, so he might play. Upset alert. Now, am I 10 toes down on the upset alert? Absolutely not. But I have no money in the game. So this could really just be me as a fan, the joy of being a fan of football. It's something how you say it? It's something freeing about, playing with nothing to lose. If you're Washington, you've already exceeded every expectation you have. You have a ton of cap space. You could really next year, now that you know what you have, you know what you're missing, you could really implement those things in the offseason and really be a contender next year. So they're ahead of schedule. You got a playoff win your first year on the road. Hey, that's moments. So let's stack those, right? So it's something freeing with nothing to lose and everything to gain. You're Detroit. You're the 1 seed. You played well the entire season as people were saying the best team in football. Then injuries. You were the Saints of last year with the walking infirmary. Because everybody got hurt. Even this year for the Saints, everybody got hurt. If you lose this game, what does that's like all the expectations is for you to get to at least where you were last year and make it over the hump. But I'm calling the upset, bro. It's something about I love Jaden Daniels, man. Love this kid. He probably like 2 years younger than us, but love this young man, yo. That team rallies around. They got leadership all over. Zach Ertz and Bobby Wagner, who won chips, who've been there and done that, who know how to win these kinds of games. Yeah, sure. The Lions are probably going to put up 30. So that over absolutely is going to cash. There won't be rarely any punts. The fourth and short is going compass like this is a game like Saturday night, like you watching from the edge of your seats, like, yeah, like this is the football that not purist like, but if you're a degenerate gambler like we are, anytime Terry McLaurin, anytime touchdown, Jameer Gibbs, Amon Ra, Laporta, Jaden Daniels himself, like it's a game where so many people can score a touchdown, and there's gonna be one ticket that's gonna have on Twitter have everyone and their mama score a touchdown, like $100 to win like 200 grand. I just think at the end, both teams are good. I just think the pressure, Dan Campbell might get tight. He might succumb to the pressure, to the hockey man. He might succumb to the hockey man. I'm not gonna lie. But if Detroit wins, I'm gonna be mad at you. Like it's a win-win. But who I'm putting my stake on, who I'm putting my stamp to win this game is the Commanders. Give me the Commanders.
Real quick before we move on to the next game too, is like you said that Dan Campbell might get tight. Like he didn't get tight against the Niners in the NFC title game last year. It was one of those situations. Oh, do what got you there. Don't change up the strat. Don't change up the strat. It's like sometimes should have changed up the strat. You got to adapt, improvise, and adapt. Take the points. Don't always have to go for it because they lost by I think like 3 points, and they could have took a field goal instead of going for it and missing it. So a situation where they could have won and been in the Super Bowl last year, but who knows? But I think we both agree. Fantastic game. Commanders cover though. 9.5.
That's easy. Yeah, that's easy.
Way too
All right. Rams at Eagles. My Wi-Fi. I'm Gucci.
Yeah, you're just like you look glitchy. Like sometimes you'll start talking and it's like you'll be like in and out.
My fault. I try not to move as much. So Rams going to Philly. 6.5 is a lot of points. I'm going with the Rams. I mentioned it yesterday a little bit. I'll mention it again. Like the pressure, one on Philly is to win the game. Like if you're LA, you're like, all right, like we started off so bad, we ended off super strong, won the division, won a playoff game. You blew out the team that everyone was like, oh, you got to lose to. Like everyone, like where Houston was as like the AFC side, everyone's like, oh, whoever's the 5 seed, like they're gonna go to LA or Arizona and win the game because you're like, oh, this is better than the bye. Nah, better coach, better quarterback. Jalen Hurts, rust, but he's also this season just took a dip. He took a dip, bro. He has not been playing well this season. Saquon, but I think the Rams defense has vastly improved, and since that Buffalo game, and they can really like put the clamps on people, like Saints, Seattle, Cardinals, like they put the clamps on a lot of teams. Now the quality of team, sure, but they still like it doesn't diminish what they've done. If you're Philly, you're like, we barely beat the Packers. Like, I mean, 22-10, that's a blowout. But like, I think if the injuries on the Packers side were more favorable, it would have been a much closer game. I think the better coach, the better quarterback, and the pending implosion, and just vibes. And everyone is saying, like, I don't want Nick Wright to be right, but I don't know, man. I think the Rams actually go to Philly and win it. Now, the health of Puka and Kyron is definitely in play here. But, hey, and even if you're the Rams, we lose, you draft a corner in the draft, you retool the joint, and you back in it again. Like, definitely looking at the successor, whoever going to be the next starter for sure. unless Sean McVay like retires and goes into TV for a little bit. But I like the Rams. They got momentum, and if you're Philly, like you had a bad win. It's hard to play bad twice, unless you're Pittsburgh. And it's also like you blew out a team. It's hard to blow out a team again. So, and I know they want revenge for that Sunday night game when Saquon went for like 250. So, I think they have a better game plan. I think they get it done.
I agree. I got the upset as well. Um, for argument's sake, I mean, let's talk about Philly. Philly, their defense is legit. Their corners are good. Cooper DeJean, fantastic rookie. Quinyon Mitchell, fantastic rookie. Jalen Carter, he got carted off, so he's not playing. I think he's out for the rest of the season. So prayers up to him.
Wait, Carter or Nolan Smith?
Jalen Carter. No, it's Nakobe Dean, actually. I apologize. Nakobe Dean, linebacker. He got carted off. He's out for the rest of the season. But Jalen Carter, monster among men. He's a replacement for Fletcher Cox. And then their new center is fantastic as well. So the Eagles retooled. Both teams pissed me off in a situation where, like, let me talk about why the Rams pissed me off in a good way. They went all in 2021 for a chip. Got it. Got the chip. They bought Von Miller, OBJ, Jalen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford, Coop. Like they bought all pushed all their chips into the table, won the chip. Then they were supposed to be in cap hell, and they were. 2022 was not a good season for them. They went down. Then nail draft picks. They had fantastic draft in 2023. Puka Nakua, Kobe Durant. There's so many other guys that they drafted fantastically well. And boom, they were in the playoffs last year. And then this year, they started off, I think, 1-4 or 2-4, and rallied off a whole bunch of wins in a row to be in this position. They've went all in, suffered for a year, and then now they're back to being successful with a clean cap and all that stuff. I say all that say because Saints, competent organizations know what they're doing, but that's all I'm gonna speak on that. So that's why the Rams pissed me off. And the Eagles, you mentioned, have all these great players. They have all these good. They nail the first round picks all the time, but
Sorry about that, y'all. I think Nacho's having some technical difficulties at this moment. Um, he's going with the Rams. I'm going with the Rams. He'll come back and then we'll finish it off. But while I got y'all, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend and tell a friend. Last game on the schedule. It's a quick show because there's only 4 games to talk about. We got the Ravens. My Ravens going to Buffalo. I'm from New York. I went to school in upstate New York, so it's kind of odd for me, because I got love for New York. Like I got like love and respect for Buffalo and what they got going on. But nah, man.
bro,
Wait,
my
hold on.
Wi-Fi just cut out. My fault.
It was your Wi-Fi.
It
Okay.
might be my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi said, nope, you're done. You're done. So my fault, game. My fault, y'all. Real quick, I was just gonna talk about Philly. They're a good team. They're a fantastic team. But I think that you mentioned it earlier, the implosion of AJ Brown, that offense looking offensive in the passing game. Running game is awesome. Saquon's awesome. MVP conversation. And they might run the ball effectively against the Rams. But at the end of the day, it comes down to Rams have a better quarterback, Rams, especially in the playoffs, and a better coach.
Yep.
Who do I trust more? And that's where it comes down to. I trust the coach more, and I trust the quarterback more. So that's why I'm going with the Rams. Now the main event. The main event of the evening. If you're into UFC, we got UFC 311 this weekend as well. Pay per view. It's gonna be 2 title fights, a whole bunch of bangers. If you're like into like good UFC fighting, it's gonna be a fantastic card. So Buffalo hosting Baltimore. On one corner, we have the 2-time MVP Lamar Jackson, soon to be potentially 3-time MVP.
MV3,
And
baby.
his running mate, Derek the King Henry, who's been a rushing leader 2 times, 3 times over. He's a part of the exclusive 2,000 rushing yards club. You have the number 1 rush defense in the NFL. Baltimore Ravens, who've won a Super Bowl in the 21st century.
We were alive when we were born.
2 in the time we were born.
2 of them things.
And on the other corner, a rising star, a soon to be potential MVP for the first time, a team coached by Sean McDermott that's pretty competent. They have no star receivers, but it doesn't matter because Josh Allen is amazing. James Cook is amazing. A defense that can get got a little bit, but overall has a good team as a whole. They were the number 2 seed because of a sorry-ass AFC East division. But you can't take anything away from Buffalo. They play in the frozen tundra, if you will, in Orchard Park. It's supposed to be 8 degrees. Cold as shit.
Indeed.
And some, I think, snow as well. Precipitation's in the mix as well.
Indeed.
Hey, man, say, man. You know where it rides, man. The Bills are underdogs at home by 1.5. What it comes down to is what I talked about yesterday. Run the damn ball. You know the meme from The Blind Side when the wife calls the coach like, run the damn ball. Run it. Be committed to running the ball. You guys ran the ball for 49 times for 300 yards, almost 299. Round up. 50 times for 300 yards. That's 6 yards a carry. And that shit adds up. It adds up over time. Be the team. Be the hammer, not the nail. Be the hammer. Be the team that goes over and over and understand you guys had a Super Bowl berth ready to go, but you got away from your identity. You got away from your identity. Your defense has done a complete 180 degrees. Brandon Stevens aside, your defense as a whole. Kyle Van Noy career resurgence out of nowhere. Kyle Van Noy has been awesome for the last 2 years. And Matabuke, key sack last week against Russell Wilson. You playing a guy, Josh Allen, that can make any play until that ball and whistle says, whoop, 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 play is never over. But you have that same guy in Lamar Jackson. Lamar, you're going to give your inspirational speech to Lamar. Your defense is going to make it happen. Just play your game. Be the great quarterback we know you can be. We know you. We know this already, man. Be the GOAT. Be the young GOAT that you are. You're a 2-time, potentially 3-time MVP for a reason. Showcase that. And when it comes in the fourth quarter, give the ball to the man amongst boys and Derek the King Henry. Play your game, Baltimore, and you walk out with a dub. And I was telling the student this earlier. He was like, oh, who do I think is going to win, Baltimore or the Bills? And I said this. Buffalo starts slow. Consistently, they start slow a lot. Where if they're down 14-0, that plays right into the Ravens' hands. Because Buffalo, but as great as a team they were this season, they can't stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
And if the Ravens are up 14-0 in the first quarter and the first half, that leads to exactly Baltimore's game plan. Conversely, they can start fast. Buffalo can get into a propensity to start fast sometimes too. Beginning part of the season, they were outscoring opponents in like the first half like a lot, and it was over. I do trust the Ravens to not veer from their game plan. Don't veer from the game plan. Hand the ball off to the King 20, 25, hell, 30 times if need be. Play action. Zay Flowers not playing, I assume?
I don't think I didn't look at the injury report, but I don't think he played. I don't think he practiced today.
He might be back, might not play. He might not play. But Bateman made plays. I think he only had one catch last week. He didn't really throw the ball much. But the one catch was clutch. Mark Andrews. Come on, man. Come on, man. We know what's going on with Mark Andrews. Isaiah Likely. We know what's going on with you. Make athletic plays all the time. Nelson occasional hands Aguilar. Make plays all the time. Make it happen. Ravens win outright. Point blank period.
Okay.
Cook Shabazz.
You can stay. You can stay. Come back. Come back. All right. So I looked at the injury report. We only had 2 people who were on the injury report. So this is like the healthiest we've been. Knock on wood, of course. Like in a while. Like no. Like Hardy, Deontay Hardy, we drafted him to be our return guy. He practiced finally. I said Bateman. Zay Flowers, he didn't practice. But Harbaugh said in the beginning of the week, if he doesn't practice, that doesn't mean he's not going to play. Which is great. Here is the breakdown. Right, you said everything to a T. You line that joint up like the nail. I was got to come with the him. We start fast, notoriously. In like the 17 games we played, I believe we scored on the opening drive at least more than half the time. The exact number, I can't tell you. I have to do my research on it. But I'm pretty sure I'm watching Red Zone on Sundays. Our opening drive, we're putting points on the board. Right? And also in this 5-game winning streak, including the playoff, since Lamar's mom cursed him out, we haven't kicked a lot of field goals. That means we're putting touchdowns and not field goals, which is one of the natural commandments. I think this game is – people think it's going to be a back and forth. I don't think so because the weather is going to be so bad. Well, not bad. Cold. This is going to be cold. I do think we have the capacities with we got edge work with Owe and Vanoy. We got the interior with Manabike, Michael Pierce, Travis Jones. We got one of the best linebackers of this era in Roquan, and he's more like a prototypical linebacker who's a tackling machine. So he don't care what kind of weather it is. He's going to tackle. He played in Chicago. It's cold over there, too. He used to it. Kyle Hamilton, Notre Dame, played in the cold. He used to it. So we got the dogs. We got the beast to do it. Offensively, I'm wearing a jersey, to talk to a specific unit. Last week I wore the Ray Lewis jersey because I had to channel the Ray Lewis to talk to the defense and the team as a whole because this was a division rival in a wild card game. This time, I'm just talking to the offense because I trust the defense to try their best if we can hold them under 24, be valid. Because we could get to 30 on anybody. That ain't no problem. We can get to 30 something. I think score will probably be us winning 34-24. Maybe a try like a late comeback. So maybe 34-30. Maybe. But we going to drop points. At least 28. So we dropping points. And an extra field goal for good measure, so 31. It's going to be hard to run Because grass in the cold is different than turf in the cold. So landing on it, hitting in it, everything benefits us. They play. It's like the Bane. You was mentally, you lived in the dark. I was born in it. Derrick Henry was just born for these moments. 150 yards a game, 4 games of that. Tied for the most all time with Jim Brown. Has a chance to break that. Lamar has a chance to go 500 in the playoffs, which would honestly get a lot of people off his dick. You mentioned, Lamar, just be great. Just be you. I think his approach this year has, well, at least one game sample size of playing the Steelers has been amazing because everyone knows how great Lamar is. Even Lamar knows how great he is, but he don't gotta go and prove it. He just plays the way he played the entire season. We Gucci. It's when you mentioned about the Mahomes thing. Is when you staring eye to eye across fields and seeing him do his magic shit. I could do that too. Nah. James Jones said it today, and I wish I could pull the clip out. That was a perfect clip. He was like, very much, you don't have to be Allen. You don't have to be Mahomes. Lamar is good enough. Being you and true to you is good enough. Derrick Henry is going to eat. He's going to break one, at least, for a 25, 30-yard game. He's going to do that. But those 5, 6 yards, 7 yards, them shits add up. If you get in 5 yards a pop, 6 yards a pop, you can go on long drives running the rock. They play nickel and dime packages a lot of the time. And for those who don't know, that's a lot of DBs. Ain't no DBs out here hitting except for Kyle Hamilton. And he's on our side of the field. Darius Washington on our side of the field. Tyrann Mathieu, he's home. So we good. Derwin James, he's home. So we good. They don't got the dogs to tackle the 6'3", 240 behemoth. So let's not get cute. Let's treat this the same way as the Steelers game. That should be the blueprint moving forward. I don't care if Lamar does it. I just want if he throws 2 touchdowns with like 175 yards, 22 passes, 25 passes. You remember 30 the most. When we start getting pass happy, that's where we start fucking up at. If he can go under 30, under 25 and run it for 50 times like we did last week, I'm okay with that. But if it's nip and tuck back and forth, that means we have an opportunity to control the tempo, to set the pace with every run, with every pass, every short game. If Flowers plays or if he doesn't play, it doesn't matter. Next man up, doesn't matter. And Lamar Demetrius Jackson, you, sir, are my MVP. You've had one of the best statistical seasons ever. Transformative. You're that guy. At this point, all you have to prove is not just proving the doubters wrong, it's proving yourself right. And me. Nick Wright said it best. Whoever loses this game is gonna get cooked. Allen, he can't get past the divisional round. The reason why he's a wild card merchant because he sits back like Spice Adams because he playing lower tier teams in the first round, and that's why his stats are so good. But when he plays people up to his level, Burrow went to your crib and beat you. Mahomes, he went to your crib and beat you. You shit the bed. So he's going to get cooked for that. Lamar, you lose this game. You had the most Pro Bowlers and you still lost. You had Derrick Henry and you still lost. So all the pressure's on both. Honestly, it's a must win for both. But someone gotta win and someone gotta lose. And whoever wins, I'm rooting for them against Kansas City. Now, will I root for them to win the Super Bowl? Probably not. If the Bills beat us, I can say, yo, beat Kansas City, but lose to Detroit, or lose to Philly, or lose to the Commanders, or lose to the Rams. Whoever makes it out the NFC. But that ain't gonna happen. But again, it's not up to us. We only talking about it, but at the end of the day, it's up to the players. Do you have a score prediction for this game?
I don't. I don't have a score prediction. I believe Baltimore wins. If I had to make a score prediction, I do think that if I had to say one, I think you guys win 30-20.
Okay.
I think 30-20. With like it might be like last game how you guys just ran the ball like 20 straight times and they only throw it in the second half. Yeah, I think that might be a situation where like, damn, this another carry, another 5-yard carry, another 4-yard carry. Damn, 3rd and 1. What's gonna happen? Oh, Lamar has it. Oh, Derrick Henry has it. Nope. Dump off to Mark Andrews or some shit. Like I just think that's gonna happen. As much as Josh Allen's awesome, I just can't see it.
Okay. I think I said 34-24. So about the same. Actually, I might say 20. I might say 27-17. I ain't gonna lie. Or 28-17.
I mean, your defense is good, but I don't know holding them to 17.
We had 10 before. It was 10 the first time.
Very true. Very true.
But hey, man, again, we just fans of this shit. But at the end of the day, it's not the end all be all. It's not up to us. It's up to the players to really make these plays and make these moments. But yeah, speaking real quick, Notre Dame by 1,000,000. By Tuesday, the best case scenario will be Ravens in the championship game and Notre Dame in the chat and winning the ring. Ring those boys, man. Go Irish. What was you talking about? But that doesn't shortish video. We've been talking for like 47 minutes, 48 minutes. It's okay because it gets shorter and shorter. That just means we're getting better and better football. So drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. See you guys on Tuesday where we recap everything that transpired. Hoping for the best results. I'm Shabazz. That's 90 Baps. Leave your life in the 4 F's and a V, which is faith. Horns down. Which is faith, family, food, football, and
vindication.
And we'll see you guys on Tuesday, 8:30 Eastern. Let's go, man. Let's go, Flock, man. Matt, pull it at the end. Sorry, baby girl. We out of here, man.
Later, y'all.